Hello everybody, welcome to the dojo. In today's video, I finally got a new sword to talk about. It's been quite a long time since I got a new sword. And actually, we'll just get into that. I haven't posted in about a year just because I took some time off for my wedding. But now that that's over, I can focus entirely to my training. The reason for that is that when I do my training, I don't miss a day. I don't have rest days, I don't have cheat meals, and I only focus on my training. I enjoy it. It's not a restrictive lifestyle to me, it's a lifestyle that I enjoy. But because of that, I had to take some, not really time off, but I had to just not post or do anything like that. I just had to focus strictly on my wedding. But that's over now, so now I can focus on posting. And another thing that I've been getting a lot of comments is this hairstyle that I got going on right here. Everybody's been leaving comments, peso pluma, and leaving me really great, beautiful, wonderful comments. So thank you all. But it's not actually peso pluma. I actually wanted it to look like my OG Shogo right here. And I've been following him for years and years, ever since Beatbox World Champions. I mean, I love watching those videos. It's a big part of my life and entertainment. But now that I'm back, 2025 coming up, I'm going to be posting a lot more. I'm going to be posting a lot of content, so brace yourself. Now let's get into this video. I've got actually a few boxes here. I've got this one here, and then I've got this guy right here. But we're actually only going to open up one of them today. I believe this one here, and this one's for another time. And the reason why I haven't been getting any katanas recently, I got the coffee. I'm going to be taking some coffee breaks because I just woke up. So I haven't got a katana in a while, but I've been saving this one to do an unboxing and a review. You know I love my Amazon swords. Amazon swords are wonderful. They're freaking beautiful. They're exceptional swords. And today's EDC, it's a CRKT Ancestor. And let me just show you, I'll pull up on y'all. It's a new one for me. It's honestly kind of a real minimal design on the handle, but the blade is beautiful, it's elegant, very simple. I'm a big fan of CRKT for their price points, just a simple liner lock, very lightweight. Very simple and elegant. It's a gentleman's knife. It's not necessarily a first self-defense knife or anything like that, but all knives, they can be used in that matter. So let's just get straight into it. Let's get an unboxing because it's almost 2025. I kind of had this sword sitting in a box for 6 or 8 months waiting for this video. Really no excuse why I haven't posted or gotten around to it. But what really sparked me to get back into this is that I'm going to get more into it later actually. But long story short is I have a new training disciple. I don't even want to call it a student, but I'm just sharing and spreading the love of jutsu, of martial arts, of weapons training, of health, fitness, I guess you could say. I'm not qualified to... Ooh. Okay, let's go. So it's a box inside of a box, and oh my goodness, it's so tiny. Oh no. So I waited 6 months to open this box, and I might have got the wrong sword because there's no way a katana could fit in this box. There's no way a katana could fit in this box. But anyways, back to the story. I've been training a good friend of mine and spreading the joys of martial arts. And I don't want to say student because he's not really a student. I'm just spreading the love and my knowledge. But when he gets the right equipment and we get more time, I want to transition him into a full-time student and really get him locked in on all of this martial arts lifestyle. Now, like I was saying, I'm not qualified to give workout or fitness advice or even nutrition advice, But I'm a martial artist. All I know how to do is make your body become as dangerous and lethal as possible. And in order to do that, you need to have iron bone jutsu. I focus on iron bone jutsu, general athleticism, how your body moves and flexibility, and then the spirit, training the spirit, because martial arts is all about training the spirit. People can push you down. Like when you go to a dojo or a Brazilian jiu-jitsu, you don't go there to win. You know you're gonna get knocked down, you know you're gonna get pushed down, and you're gonna be outranked. You don't expect to win. A true martial artist is a lifelong white belt, and everyone is your sensei. And you always give credit to your sensei. You give credit to everyone who's taught you anything. And that's more about what I like to train for. I like to just train a strong spirit. Let's see if a katana could fit in here. I don't see how a katana could fit in here, but there's something in here. Hopefully I didn't get the boxes mixed up. Oh man, I really don't know what to expect. It's very tiny. What in the heck is this? Oh my goodness, we'll have to do a size comparison later, but oh, I actually do like the bag. It's got this little strap here, you see? So I've never seen ooh, okay. Now that, is cherry. That is nice. A nice little shoulder bag here. Nobody knows, you might have a telescope, going to the library, doing some astronomy. I love it. Let's just see what's in here. I'm just blown away by how small this bag is. It's sword shaped, so I can feel there's something in there. I can feel the suka, suba. There's obviously some kind of saya in there. I don't know at what scale this sword is made to. And I'm really excited to make this video. I've missed y'all. So leave me a comment down below. I read all the comments. I love all y'all. Ooh, so far not so good. Oh my goodness. Okay. Oh, it's beautiful. So at first what I didn't like was this real chalky white coloring right there. That thing looks just real tacky, but it's gonna stain up and it's gonna yellow over time with some coffee. It gets enough coffee on my hands and enough training. It's gonna freaking, oh no! And they continued that super, I don't know, it just looks goofy to me, that black and white. It just looks super goofy to me. Let's see what we have here. So far, this is the prized possession right here, is this sword bag with the shoulder strap. There's some other things I want to show you on this katana, is why I chose this katana. And I don't know if it is a katana. The blade length on it, I don't know if this is a katana or a wakizashi. Should I just do a draw? Fresh out the box. Ooh, let's see what this thing's got. Fresh out the box. All right, let's just see what this thing can do. Okay, so I can tell it's been in the box for 8 months. I don't see rust per se, but the blade is extremely dirty. I mean, this blade looks like it sat in a gutter somewhere during a rainstorm and just collected it looks good from that far away, but let me bring it up closer. Now, this isn't fair because I did have it sitting in a box for 8 months. So this isn't even a fair comparison to what you might expect to get from your Amazon sword. So far, I don't know, I'm liking it. I must say. So far, I don't know. Okay. The price point, 130 bucks. I can't beat it. T10 super steel. Can't beat it. That's what I love. I love that price. I love the steel. I can change this. I can change that very easily. Another reason what I bought it for, I know I'm doing a lot of cardio here, coming back and forth to the camera, but I want to show you this suka. This suka right here is one of the most beautiful sukas I've ever seen in my life. Do you see that? The skull. It's got the skull on one side. Well, the reason why that's important is because I already have been collecting these sukas, and you can't see it, but right here on this anvil, right here by Joe, I have a set of these sukas I've been collecting. I just buy them off eBay. And my idea was, because I love that design of that suka so much with the skull. My idea was that each person, each student that I teach Jiu-Jitsu, martial arts too, I'm gonna gift them a wakizashi bearing this suka, this skull suka, and it's gonna be basically the emblem of my school, of my dojo, is this skull suka. You know, just a little China suka, but nonetheless, I think that's a cool feature. Everyone in my school is gonna have that skull suka, and I've already got two. I'll cut in a picture right here what they look like. They're beautiful. They're absolutely beautiful, stunning. And this is my first time seeing one on a katana. And all the other fittings, oh, they're beautiful. They're absolutely beautiful. I don't know if I can reach from here, if you can see that. Absolutely stunning, absolutely beautiful. I love the oni, I love the demons, I love all of that. Let's clean this off real quick. I've got a rag here. Let me clean off this blade and we'll take a closer look at it. All right. Ooh, and you know what? It had a decent fit inside of the saya. It actually, oh. See, and that's why I love T10 steel. This is the reason why I love T10 steel so much. Look at the beauty of this blade. Let me get my mug out of there. Look at the beautiful coloring on this blade. I hope it's coming through on the camera. I am using the front-facing camera, but I got a new Samsung. I got that new Samsung with, I don't know, 1,000 megapixels. It's like something ridiculous. I got that new Samsung. Can you hear that? That's the soul, that's the spirit of the blade. It came ready for the dojo. It actually needed to come to the dojo. And let me just feel the tightness again on this bad boy. Oh, Lord. Oh, it's so good. For 130 bucks, you can't beat this quality. I've got several T10 swords here from Amazon. So, I mean, I've tested them for years. Look at my shorts or my reels. I put them through a lot of abuse, and the blades are all still going strong. As a matter of fact, the only blade that I have any problems with is this katana here. It's a Hanwei Lion Dog katana. It was like $1,000 some, and I've had nothing but issues with it. So I love these cheap swords, and I think the reason for that is they weren't, and I'm jumping ahead. Oh man, I'm jumping ahead. These swords, I think they're not made for training, for practice every day. I mean, I train with these every day. Hundreds of reps, maybe not hundreds of cuts. Yes, hundreds of cuts, but not hundreds of physical cuts every day. But I do like the shadow boxing, Aikido type cuts. Every sword I have, I'll completely dismantle the whole entire ito. It will come apart. I'll have to rewrap it. I usually like to attach an axe handle to, I just love the looks of an axe handle. I have a couple up here that I've made. You could check my other videos on that. They're very old and cringe videos. I didn't know what I was doing, but you could check those videos out. And I've always been served better with the under $200. I've never really got a katana that was over $200 that I was like, oh my goodness. So especially if you're training every day, and that's exactly what this is for. I'm gonna be training with this every single day. All of this is gonna get destroyed and replaced in terms of the handle, right? But the suka is probably just gonna get thrown away. This is just all gonna be completely destroyed. But a lot of these parts and pieces, I'm going to reuse. So I'll be able to reuse the blade. The T10 blade will last a lifetime. I'll test this one, but my previous T10 Amazon blades for around $100, $120, they've all stood the test of time. I love them. They stay straight and they stay razor sharp. I usually do sharpen my katana and my wakizashi, but because I got these ones for the channel, I haven't done any sharpening on them. So any cutting you see me do, that's the original factory edge. And I've had them beat and hit against my sword stands, and they haven't bent, they haven't chipped, they haven't even rolled the edge. T10 is an amazing steel for that. This one I'll be trained with every day. And if you are going to be trained with it every day, this is what you want. You want an under $200 katana. Maybe one day I'll get a more expensive one. But right now I'm just kind of starting at the bottom, and I'm so happy with what's at the bottom. There's no reason for me to move up. Another thing is that as these pieces break and as you have to replace these pieces, you just have to repair them. You have to fix them. It actually brings you closer. It brings the sword and the spirit of the sword more closer to your own. It makes you more at one, because you know how it's built and you know, oh man, I can't get over that. That might be one of the tightest fit and finishes ever. I don't know if you can hear that, but none of my other katana do that. Not even my $1,000 Hanwei Lion Dog katana, which it is beautiful. That is a beautiful katana, but holy moly. So that's kind of what I got going on for this one. Another thing I want to talk about, and I will just do a quick size comparison with a wakizashi, because like I said, this blade, it seems short. I don't know. Let's see how it compares to a wakizashi blade. And this is the Channel's wakizashi sword that I put a axe handle on. You can hear the spirit. The spirit of this sword is much louder, is much stronger. I believe it's because I've been carrying it for years and years and years. Oh yeah, size comparison. So let's just get a quick size comparison. You know what? It is quite a bit longer. I take it all back. I take it all back. The blade is quite long. I think what gets me, and the reason why, the reason why I use the axe handle, and I sharpen the axe handle at the point to give it kind of one of those, you can strike with it. You could strike with the pommel, pop, pop. The reason why I do this is because if I hold the wakizashi from back here, if I hold it from back here and it locks in, if you've held an axe, you know that this portion swells in your palm and it locks in right there. But if I hold the wakizashi from the back of the axe handle, look at what it does. It essentially gives me, or let's go this way. It essentially gives me the capability and reach of a full-size katana if I hold it right there. Now you could say, well, yeah, you can hold the katana from back here too and get more reach too. So that is true. What you would do is you would just float the hands. You just float the hands and give you a little bit of reach, But what you gain in reach, I still believe this is more versatile form factor, just because of how easily you can stow the blade away. So it is actually quite a bit longer than the wakizashi. And even though I recommend everybody should have a wakizashi, I believe that the wakizashi is going to be more practical for a home defense scenario or anything like that. This is the issue I ran into when I was giving instructions and training my friend, is that he could draw the wakizashi and make very clean cuts with the wakizashi. Beautiful, naturally. But as soon as I gave him the katana, it was much more awkward in his hands. So I believe everybody should have wakizashi first as your primary. In 2024, going into 2025, a wakizashi is a much more practical, versatile weapon. But in terms of training and tradition, I think you should train with a katana. That extra little bit of flexibility that it gives you, the little bit of extra weight in the hand, the control it gives you, the hand-eye coordination, and also just in terms of cultural and traditional reasons, I believe that everyone should train with the katana. But if something does go bump in the night, you should have your wakizashi closer at hand. I believe the wakizashi should be your primary. I'm talking about, it like the back of your hand. This is your, this would be essentially your daily driver. Whereas the katana is more of, I don't want to say workhorse or anything like that, but it would be like your, like a dump truck or a garbage truck. It's just bigger, more cumbersome, so that when you're driving this around and then you go back to your, Corvette or Porsche, you're much more nimble. You're much more nimble with it, and it feels nimble to you. Another thing is training. I wouldn't recommend training with katana more than an hour a day, just because you're gonna build some imbalances. You'll build a little bit of imbalances. Like my right arm is quite a bit more robust. Now there is things that I do to counteract that. It's right off screen here, but I have a full series of workouts that I do to strengthen and take my left arm, to make my left arm as comparable to my right arm. Even though for an hour straight, I'm swinging around with 2 pounds of steel in different, different loads, different balances, I still train both arms so heavily. I train the left and the right arm in such a way that they're so powerful and so strong that the 2 pound katana isn't enough to even stimulate my right arm anymore. I train these forearms and tendons and these muscles equally. I wish I could roll it in. Maybe one day I'll do more lives or training videos, but essentially I do the sword work. It's really close to arm wrestling workouts. It's really close to those arm wrestling workouts that you do doing these types of movements with the forearms. But I've worked up to a load that is so massive that when I hold a katana or even a wakizashi for an hour straight, swinging it, doing my aito, it's not enough to stimulate the muscles in my right arm so much that they outgrow the left arm. I will get a pump, I will get the blood volume to flow, but it's not necessarily enough volume to make those muscles outgrow the left side. Now there is gonna be a little bit more right hand athleticism, a little bit more right hand dominant in aito, in katana practice. So I just want to make that clear, because I don't think I've ever spoke on that before, is that I wouldn't recommend more than an hour of training per day, just because of that muscle imbalance. And it's something I noticed early on, and I took, luckily I've trained martial arts so long that the left and the right side symmetry is something that we always train. So the only time I ever really ran into a problem was with katana, with aito, because just with tradition, it's mainly only a right-handed movement. I have seen left-hand people do it, but just for tradition, and I usually only use my right hand. For knife throwing and shuriken jutsu, I use my left and my right hand. For nunchaku, I use my left and my right hand. So I have pretty good development in my left arm. But if you are going to get a katana or a wakizashi and actually train with it, I recommend not to train more than an hour each day, and do some workouts, do arm wrestling workouts. I should actually just do a video about it, because I don't want to move the camera. Maybe I'll roll in some footage of what I use, but it's just off screen. And something else I might want to do, let me know if you're into it, I might do a dojo tour. I got, kettlebells and, Olympic weight plates and everything, but this is not a gym. This is a dojo. This is still primarily to train martial arts, and traditional martial arts in particular. So that being said, I'm really, really excited. Let's talk a little bit more about this sword. Let's get into the nitty gritty. I'll come right up here with y'all. We'll start at the blade. We'll start at the tip. You notice it does have the bowhai. I'm in love with it. It's got the clay temper. And in my experience, these T10 differentially heat treated blades, they are legitimately clay tempered. They are legitimately differentially heat treated. From my experience, now on this one particularly, I won't know right out of the box. And even though it has even though it has basically the common fittings on it, everything was pretty tight. And you can see just from me showing you the few draws right there and swings, the ito has already become loose. So I don't mind that because I already knew that, and I don't expect these handles to last very long, especially for me. They don't even last 1 week of training. I'm gonna draw this katana probably thousands of times. It's already at the end of, almost at the end of December, and before January comes around, I'll probably have 1,000 reps, 1,000 draws into this, and whole thing will be completely destroyed. I mean, in terms of the handle, and I'll probably early January, early 2025, I'll probably have to rehandle this, but let's just see the flow of it. Oh yes, it's very live, it's very light, it's very nice in the hand. Just the way it moves. Let's see if it wiggles. You know, I can't tell yet. I can't tell yet. It honestly feels very blade heavy, but I don't know if that means that it's wiggling. Let me show from the camera back here. Maybe you guys can pick up on it. It feels tight down here. It feels tight down here in the suka, but it feels very blade heavy. It feels like the blade has a little wag to it. I'm not sure. You hear that? I'll get it by the mic. There's just a little bit of play down here. So I'm not sure really what that is. But the blade definitely has a lot of soul in it. I'm looking forward to using it and getting some cuts into it. So basically everything from the suka up is beautiful. Even this little end piece down here is beautiful. And that's exactly what I got it for. That's what I expected. I'll have to leave a link. I'll leave a link down in the description where you can get this blade. Every time I leave a link for a sword, they sell out. But just don't worry, keep checking. They'll probably come back in stock. This is a great buy. For everything I don't like about it, this is a great buy. Even getting a saya like this, a custom saya could run like $600. So just getting one at all is just a beautiful thing to me. And it's tight. I actually wasn't expecting it to be this tight. This is probably one of the best lockups I've ever had coming from a Amazon sword. So that's pretty much all I could think about that I want to talk about this one. I guess just stay tuned for 2025 because I got a lot more content coming up. Really cool things. Let me know what you're interested in seeing. I read all the comments. And with that being said, hope everybody has a good night.